In this video, I'm going to be surviving 100 days in Minecraft Pocket Edition. This video took me a lot of time to make, but I really enjoyed recording every bit of it. So if you feel the same way too, then be sure to leave a like and subscribe. So without further ado, let's begin. So on day 1, I loaded into the world, looked around for a bit, then decided to search for trees. After finding some, I began collecting logs and then crafted a wooden pickaxe and went to collect cobblestone. I used the cobblestone to upgrade my pick. Did some fresh food from mini technoblade. After that, I went in search for a village, and after traveling for a short while, I spotted one in the distance. I then went over there, stole a blacksmith grindstone, furnaces, and then looted the chest inside. I ventured into the village and began borrowing some of the farmer's scrap. I also found some sugarcane across the river, which will be useful to craft books and bookshelves for the enchanting table later on. Quick side note, stealing is not fun, but I did enjoy taking the airways from the village. I also found this spot and decided to settle down because this is where I would like to make my base. I also did some shopping for potatoes and a cozy white bed inside the village because why not? On day 2, I went out to collect some iron and coal from a nearby cave. However, this took me way too long, and when I was finished, it was already night, so I went home to get some beauty sleep and call it a day. On the morning of day 3, I smelted my iron, crafted a bucket, and began my farm. And so this was the end of day 3. On days 4 to 6, I began collecting cobblestone for a starter house that I had in mind, and this collection took me 2 entire Minecraft days. Day 7. The Minecraft gods cursed me with a witch that I quickly blasted into thin air. I also collected some baked potatoes, then planted a few 2x2 spruce trees so that I could have more wood for future builds. The next day, which is day 8, is when I began organizing the materials to begin working on the starter house. I made stairs, slabs, trapdoors and a lot of other resources necessary. And then let the build commence. This also took me 12 days to complete because I was having a lot of recording issues and most of the video footage corrupted, so I had to break it down into this. Work and more work. On days 21 to 23, I did some exterior designs and a lot of interior designs to fill the empty areas inside the house. I also did a lot of wood cutting and harvested my crop field. This in total took me 2 days. On day 25, I was still inside the ravine doing more mining, and I also crafted myself a furnace and a crafting table. While exploring, I also found this zombie spawner, which is quite cool and can be used to make a drone farm. On day 26, I emerged from the mines and went home to organize my chest and smelt the ores that I had collected. Then I made myself full iron armor and also made some for my armor stand. I also made use of the pumpkin seed that I had collected earlier to plant them nearby my crop field. I also smacked this villager when turning in for bed. On day 27, I tried to kill this creeper, but since I am such a noob, he exploded, and that was that. After failing miserably to kill this creeper, I then went to chopping trees and then in search for more cows and horses so that I could get more leather. It was a very unsuccessful trip, so I went home and turned in for the night. Today, I prepared myself to build a small mine that would lead me down to Y11 so that I could go mining for some diamonds. This took a total of 2 days and turned out to be a very cool and cozy build. On day 31, I decided to add some details to and around the mine, and I think it turned out pretty well. I also made a ladder going down to Y11 inside the mine so that I could travel up and down. On day 32, the mines were complete and now I could begin strip mining, which I sure did. On day 33, I decided to go back to spawn and check out the cave that I saw on day 1. I went through and began lighting up some of the areas until I came upon some ores which I decided to mine. And found a skeleton spawner while at it. Just as the one earlier, I decided to leave it until day 200, in which I will make a house for it. But anyways, I decided to enter and loot the chests that were inside. The next day, I emerged from the mines and went home to make use of the resources that I had gathered while mining. I also smelted the iron, cleared my inventory, and collected more iron from the furnace, and that was all I did for the rest of day 34. I harvested sugarcane, carrots and potatoes and replanted them so that I could have a steady food source, and just like that, day 35 was over. On day 36, I began collecting the resources needed to make a villager breeder, so be sure to check out the description for the link. And so I spent the next 2 days working on this build. As soon as I finished, it began working, and so I was very happy. On day 39, I went back down in the mines, this time to collect diamonds so that I could get a fortune 3 pickaxe. And by my surprise, I got lucky and found enough to make a pick and an enchanting table. I crafted myself a pick, then went back to collect some obsidian for the enchanted table and the nether portal that I had planned. I then went home to drop off the extra stuff that I had in my inventory, crafted the enchanting table and some bookshelves, and that was the end of day 39. On day 40, I made the nether portal. And then ventured out to collect some sugarcane and harvested my crops. I then went inside to craft more bookshelves and added them to the enchanting setup and checked on the available enchants. If you followed me on Instagram, then you would know that most of this footage got corrupted, and I'm really sorry about that. However, I can still describe what happened in short. First, I began strip mining with the Fortune 3 pickaxe and found enough diamond to make full set of gear and tools. I also collected a lot of coal, iron and copper because I wanted to make the blast furnace XP farm so that I could enchant my gear. I then began enchanting and disenchanting until I got some really good enchants, and that was basically it. On day 52, I began working on a sheep farm, which I didn't finish because I got lazy, and this took the entire day. I then made a small nether wart farm just to add to the environment, nothing too fancy, but it will provide me with enough to craft potions and other ingredients. I also added some trapdoors around the outer edges to improve its aesthetics and to make it look more presentable. On days 54 to 62, I spent inside the nether grinding enough ender pearls, but this took me way too long because I couldn't find any warp fires and I had to run around searching for endermen. After a few days, I finally gathered enough pearls, and so I went back to craft the Eyes of Ender to find the stronghold. After entering the nether portal, it teleported me into a cave underneath the ocean, and it took me a lot of time to travel back to base. However, after arriving, I then made some Eyes of Ender and then a brewing stand and began preparing for the dragon fight ahead. Because honestly, the seed was very terrible, but at least I found one of my favorite villages, the Spruce or Tiger village. I also found 5 diamonds in a chest, which was honestly a good find for spending 20 days. After searching for days, I finally found the portal room, destroyed the silverfish spawner, and then placed in the finishing Eyes of Ender to complete the portal. I also cleaned up my inventory and then journeyed on into the end, where I will fight the dragon. After finishing the job, I then journeyed back home. Most of these days were spent traveling around back to base, and I was also lagging for some reason, and so I decided to hunt mobs. Day 100. I didn't do much this day because this was the final day. I spent the time making preparation so that I could get this epic seed for you guys. If you guys watch this far, then I truly and deeply appreciate the support on this video. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you in 200 days.